Welcome back. In this video, we are going to begin an in-depth review of the goal management template file that is the primary tracking mechanism for the goal management methodology. While the file is largely self-explanatory, I think you will find value in understanding the logic and benefits for its design. There are two learning objectives for this video. The first objective is to understand the purpose of the Vision tab. The second objective is to understand where annual goals, quarterly goals, and quarterly milestones are documented and tracked. The first tab in the goal management file template is labeled Vision. This tab includes the vision statement, core values, long-term goals, and midterm goals. These are listed separately since these do not change often. The main benefit of the Vision tab is it serves as a quick and easy way to reference this information as you and your partners plan and refine your annual and quarterly goals on a more consistent cadence. As you can see in this example, I've included the information for Scholarships R Us we discussed in earlier videos. Now, let's take a look at the Goal Tracking tab. This is where goal analysis, validation, and tracking are performed. Column A is goal definition. This is where we document our annual goals, quarterly goals, and quarterly milestones in a work breakdown structure format to achieve specificity and alignment. Annual goals are documented first, then nested under each annual goal we list the quarterly goals that will accomplish that annual goal. Excel tip. The keyboard command to nest or group rows is Alt-Shift-Right arrow. Then I double indent to visually indicate the hierarchy. You then click the plus and minus signs in the left navigation pane to control the rollup. In this example, I am using the annual and quarterly goals for Scholarships R Us we reviewed in previous videos in this series. If you have not done so, then next step is to write your annual and quarterly goals as specific as possible so there is no confusion over what needs to be accomplished. I'll reiterate two key recommendations to incorporate numbers and writing goals as if they already happened. After annual and quarterly goal planning drafting is complete, the next step is to further break down each of the quarterly goals into milestones. The benefit of this analysis is it will help validate the feasibility of the quarterly goal, as well as help start the process for identifying the resources needed to accomplish it. One other benefit is milestones help you and your team know if you are on track or off track during the quarter. It can be frustrating for all involved if a quarterly goal is on track for 95% of the quarter, only to turn off track at the very end. Milestones help avoid this problem. To demonstrate this milestone analysis, we are going to revisit our nonprofit Scholarships R Us. For brevity, we are only going to break down one of the quarterly goals. In this case, I'll use the quarter one goal of business requirements and RFP documented and approved by executive team. RFP distributions and selection started. Don't get too caught up in getting your milestones perfect. The idea here is to identify the critical path deliverables and set some target completion dates to act as guideposts. The details will be identified through project management processes. When identifying your milestones, a good place to start is to think about what work needs to be accomplished by the end of each month of the quarter. In this case, I am going to say we need business requirements drafted and approved by the end of January. We then need the RFP document and process drafted and approved by the end of February. Lastly, we want our RFP distributed and all initial proposals received by end of March. I do not advise further breaking down the work here, but rather accomplish that by creating a project schedule. Now, repeat this milestone identification process for all of your other current quarter goals. One other important consideration is to determine if you want to take the time to break down all quarterly goals into their milestones up front. I don't think it is necessary, but if you and your team have the bandwidth to do so, then it could be valuable to get thoughts from that analysis earlier. That concludes this video on reviewing the Vision tab and beginning our review of the Goal Tracking tab, starting with the Goal Definition column. In the next video, we'll review how we will track our goals using different statuses. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video valuable, clicking that like button would be greatly appreciated. If you have a question or feedback, I invite you to leave a comment and I'll reply as soon as I can. To watch the other videos in this series or on other topics, you can find them on my profile page. And if you want to be notified whenever I post new content, click the follow or connect button on my profile. This is Richard Ibarra, wishing you continued success with your goals.